Let me
the numbers
finish.
are just not adding up.
Hold on, you hold that thought, because that's a big one. Let me tie the loose ends on my opinion on KS, because we're gonna move from KS, because KS didn't really speak much on that as far as what reached me.
Right.
KS, to me, I felt KS is 57 years old, so he is. I mean, I guess, and people look at him as a savant. He was a self-proclaimed expert or professional. He professed in having an advice or a point of view on how the roles should be done, how dating should be done, what's the issues. He gave you the reason behind the failures. I don't think he used his platform and his age and his so-called wisdom to build up a people. I just thought he did a lot of damage for the sake of trying to correct or being like the raw truth. And that raw truth was demoralizing. It was deconstructive. It was demotivating. It didn't do a thing for the people who built up the guts to even talk to him. So I thought about doing it a couple times just to get his ass together, but I was like, I'm not even gonna waste my time. I got better shit to do. So with KS, I thought, and rest your soul, KS. I did not think his opinion. The people made him, right? His opinion was not qualified by experience or demonstration. For me, somebody that can lead me or advise me I cite the sources. I have a master's degree. I was going for so when it comes down to the academia, before somebody can be on my podium or speak to me or speak before my audiences, he gonna have to be qualified. He gonna have to have some credit, some academic success, something that says you demonstrated some know-how and wherewithal through your studies, through your personal relationships, through your networks, through your career, that says you can give that fucking opinion.
I know you haven't watched him.
Yeah,
you haven't watched him.
He did have some credibility.
He did.
I mean, no, I'm sorry. I'm talking about him being a 2-time divorcee and having unclaimed children. And, I can go forth and go on. Those are the things, to me, unfortunately, like the president. The president has to successfully be able to run his house before he can run this country. And he did not succeed in that. So it told me that he had a lot of personal issues that he did not deal with before he started to give advice to men.
Do you think that he was what he did was he collected a lot of data. So what he did was he used clients interactions more so than his own. He gave us his, but he would it's just like if I came in this room, right? And every business do it. They come in, they collect a lot of data, right? And then they say, okay, this is what we're going to push out. They probably don't even know, like when you even look at hip hop music, the people that's in control of it, they probably don't even know the culture, but what they do is they get enough data to say, okay, well, we're going to go with this or we're going to go with that. So what I'm saying is that with the people that he had, as far as the guys that, okay, let me put it like this. A lot of guys, I'm different. I'm gonna keep saying that. Before I got married, hey, I put it out there. Hey, I told her, I can't promise I'm gonna be faithful. Now, a lot of guys wouldn't do that, but a lot of guys would get in the situation, get caught, and have a unsuccessful situation because they don't have the voice. Nobody's out there saying, hey, do you have, like, let's kind of like balance this out. So for me, coming into a meeting to him, she'll tell you all the stuff that he was like, or some of the stuff he was saying, I had been saying. Because I was like, I'm just looking at the landscape of everything, and I live it. So I'm looking at the landscape, I'm like, yo, something got to happen because otherwise, and it's good for you all, for women, because how many guys have you ran into and they just say what you want to hear? It's like every guy you run into, you single? Yeah. You ain't got this? Yeah.
So you're saying that he was unsuccessful in marriage because he didn't own his truth, that he couldn't be loyal, or
no,
there
what
was
he said,
infidelity that probably.
No. What I'm saying is his situation, that the way he articulated it was that he got married to someone who already. The problem was that he was a stepdad. So he was saying that was like the beginning of kind of like his whole riff was that he didn't have, and it is a situation when you're not really the head because you're coming in.
You still got to answer to somebody for that child.
Right. You're still not in total control to really say, oh, my family's going to move like this or like that, because it's still like certain things like with my kids. Mm-hmm. She don't have to worry about, is he molesting them? Is he doing this or doing that? Not saying it don't happen, but I'm just saying that I'm not going to get that pushback that a lot of guys get. Like, I don't think that if you had a child, I don't think that guy could just come in and then I think it's still that mother protection, like that feminine protection that guys got to deal with on top of trying to lead the family, right? Mm-hmm. So that's what's his scenario, and it's a great thing for guys that's out there. Like, I could never be a stepdad.
But that's his choice. He made that choice. Again, another demonstration of his path of choices. Everybody doesn't make. I live like my grandmother. We look at elders and think they're the wisest people, and because they lived a long life, they must have got a lot of things right. No, there's a lot of people that has a long line of a resume of regrets. Like they just never got it right, and they made it into their elder years with a path full of fucked up decisions, and all they can give you is the don'ts. They don't have the do's. And so I felt like for Kevin Samuels, he would have done a lot more impactful stuff if he had just given everybody the don'ts and not try to make himself be the judge and the juror. You know what I mean? Like, I think
because I watched him, and like I told you at first, it was like I didn't want to watch him. But when I actually sat down and I watched the full video.
Just like a clip.
Not just no clip. I watched what he did. And as a woman, I was embarrassed of our women. I was embarrassed. And to you may not understand, but it's embarrassing because every woman came on there trying to say the same thing as if this man was going to change his mind. He's not going to change his mind. So all you're doing is embarrassing yourself. You going on there clearly to see that this man, I can't even be mad at him because in the beginning, he wasn't just outright nasty. He wasn't. He actually talked to them. He actually got to know what they had going on. And it's the moment when they didn't understand what he was trying to say. And a lot of times as women, we don't try to understand, we try to feel. But it made me feel this way. But I
thought he was, when I saw him asking questions, it was just to find where perhaps they weren't considered the woman that could have that opinion.
No.
Nah, he was more so saying, he puts people, he put some people together. Like, okay, say for instance, I'm just saying for sake of argument, like you come on there and you're like, hey, I'm looking for this, I'm looking for that. All he's saying is, in a traditional,
right?
Like, you know how whatever type of like relation, like how you just saying like, hey, what's wrong with a female being able to do this and then whatever. So let's say we got some Baptist guys, right? And they all lined up and they all came one by one and said, yo, I want to be the dude for you. And you had the same conversation with
but
them.
You never changed your mind.
You're never changing your mind. You're standing on what you're saying. You got to remember, he's not calling them.
Yeah, they're calling him.
You see what I'm saying?
That's why, I became embarrassed of our women because I'm like, this just shows the fucked up nature of us, that we just so persistent. Like, we just don't know when to let shit go.
You did the right thing. You was like, hey, you know what?
I'm not going to do it.
I'm not going to do it.
I appreciate you.
Because if somebody called you up, if they kept calling you up,
you didn't have to call him. Like you said, I'm not going to give him the platform to take my ass out.
Because I already know he old and set his ways. Why the hell am I waste my time? But the point was is that, the woman, in her mind, being a nurturer, we do nurture things to change. Behind a man that's transformed is usually a woman who, steadfast.
See, now you better go into.
No, I'm just saying, I believe that. And on the contrary, show me a fucked up nigga, I'll show you a fucked up woman who raised them.
But now
it's a woman that's behind it. So I get what you're saying. I'm saying, like, when he picked them apart, that's probably was embarrassing. But he became artful in the picking apart. I didn't like that. Why pick it apart?
Because they start asking why. What he's supposed to say? You want the detail. You want the detail and why. So I'm gonna tell you why. And I have heard him even tell women that got with a dude and had kids, and then she ended up leaving, whatever, because he was no good. He tell them, you knew he was no good from the beginning. we be knowing that a man's no good. And like you said, we try to nurture them into changing, but it's like, that's who he is.
It has to be the right woman.
You gotta look at it like this, right? A man changes
when he get ready.
Exactly. It's nothing
so
we can
you know
do.
what I tell her?
You could cook dinner. You could cook. Look, you could cook breakfast, lunch, dinner. Right?
But
he'll complain about dessert.
Hold on, but to your point, right?
We can't do
you see
it.
How you see how I was like, okay, I get what you're saying. You're stuck in like how you feel about the situation. So a guy that gets with you will have to understand and put you. The best way is to put you. I met a lot of women that are very driven in this way, that way. Guess what? I'm right behind them. Would I marry them in a traditional Baptist type of, or the way that it's constructed? No, because I know what I would want for the woman that would be with me. She would have to fit. She would have to check this off, that off, and that off. Now you might be a good woman, and you so up front with how you feel. That's great, but I can back you. I can be that guy in your corner. Whenever you're ready to start a family, if you ever want to start a family, then I guess then we can explore that. But business and family are two. What you're talking about is business, and I'm all for it. But business and family are two different things. And men even have to learn how to balance it. I have to learn how to balance it. I just can't be totally business. I have to deal with people's emotions. Yeah. I got to deal with this or that. So you got to understand, like, if you're not ready to do that, I would tell a dude, bro, don't even try to, don't even, what you know what I'm saying? Don't even try to mess with her about it.
That's just a dynamic of a woman. You can turn it off. That's just you can turn off. That's just one of the layers. That's just one of the hats. You know, I can go into a business meeting with a table full of dudes and negotiate the hardest deals by day, and then come home at night and I'm complete because I don't want to do it at home. I want him to be in control. But the only person that can lead me is somebody who has it under control. Somebody like Kevin Samuels that would have tried to maybe tear me apart in trying to date me to see why XYZ didn't add up to this and that and third. I would have been doing the same thing to him, because for every Kevin Samuels, it's a Kevin Samuelette. You know what I mean? There's someone with just as a bold opinion, and I would have been. You mean to tell me you qualify to give me an opinion? You're 57 years old, 2-time divorcee, unclaimed clears, child support, living in an apartment on West Pace Ferry Road, and you got an opinion?
But everybody got an opinion. But hold on. But what you're doing,
you know what I mean?
But see, look, listen.
You can't tell me about family.
Listen, what you're doing.
Family.
But see, what you're doing is right.
The same thing he did.
The same thing that you're saying.
That's not empowering.
But hold on. But what you're doing is the same thing that he did, right? But let's just say, for instance, your clip go viral. Now all of a sudden, people want to hear Faye. You could be wrong. It's a lot of people out there that'll disagree with you. But now we talking about business now. If you people still want to hear you, and like I said, you get these guys lined up, they coming in, they want to debate you, and you see how you just tearing them apart. Boom. Somebody take a clip of that, put it on the internet. Now all of a sudden, Faye is the new Faye Samuels, and she out here, right? Now
I know what you're saying.
Something tragically happens to you. I know you. I know who Faye is. Faye's a great entrepreneur, great entertainer, and at the end of the day, that money was rolling in real good. So Faye stood on that particular topic, and she had, all those guys that was lined up, boom.
But see, that's the thing. You have to have a purpose. That's the virtue we can't celebrate. Because at the point, excuse me, I'm on this fruit.
She told me to bring it. I said, you ain't even, and she said, no pears. No for guys out there, don't bring her no pears. Don't bring her no pears.
Thank you so much.
Don't bring her no
In
pears.
fact, Rick, my coach, it's not even watermelon, so it's food I can actually eat. It's melon. So what you were saying, what were you saying?
Basically, what I'm saying is this, right? You find a niche. You bringing in a certain amount of money.
That's what I'm saying. So that's where
you're saying the same thing you're saying right now. But you're saying this. But get this, you're not selling out to. But see, what I'm saying is this: you're not selling out. What you're saying is what you truly believe. Like what you're saying right now, it's a lot of people that are probably look at this and say, I don't agree with it. But you truly believe that. I was just telling her earlier, I said, she said, you know, it's certain things that you did wrong. I said, is it certain things that I did wrong, or did I feel like it was wrong? See, because somebody else may see me do something and they may think it's wrong. But if I'm speaking my truth, should I be wrong not to speak it? You get what I'm saying? So now are you saying that he was disingenuous?
I felt like he just had a lot of, you know how folks say you got church hurt? He had woman hurt. It never was resolved. So while he would give y'all a little bit of peace, it's like having that child, your parent.
I know he didn't get hurt. We all didn't got hurt though.
You got that child that, you know what I mean, that it's your favorite. So even when they do something wrong, you like, and don't you do that no more. But the other ones, you soften it up for them because you don't want to break them, because that's your winner. That's your basketball player, your football player, your gymnast, whatever. She's your favorite child. She's your well-behaved child.
But we all have gotten hurt.
You know, but the one that you don't like, you go even harder on them. But back to you and blah, 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 blah.
I got a question for you. You remember that dude, Derrick Jackson? Mm-hmm. You liked him? Be real.
I did.
You did? Okay. Only because why? He was saying things that align with how you.
I was biased because he was from Alabama.
Nah. See, you ain't.
Look, talking about the one that got caught.
We gonna look. Let's do it. Let's do it all the way.
Yeah.
Derrick Jackson was talking all that good stuff. Be real. Would you agree as to a lot of stuff he was saying?
He reminded me of somebody. I hated him.
Guess what? I said he's doomed. You know why I said he's doomed? I said because at the end of the day, remember what I said before I got married? I've said, you know what? It's over for him because he got to stay like that forever.
And he did.
And he didn't. And guess what? He couldn't because he got exposed. You see what I'm saying? Like a guy could tell you anything.
I think when he got successful, because it's hard to maintain.
Oh my God!
Hold on.
Because I know his family. I know his family. And if you're watching this, I'm trying to vouch for your family. He was a country dude, backwoods, big, burly, just Southern gentleman, supposedly. And as he started
I can't believe what I'm hearing right now.
I mean, he supposedly was like a humble, decent dude.
Nah, but he knew better. I don't care how big you get. Like you said, stay true to who you are. If that's who he is, he should have opened up a foundation for a place for guys to go to, like,
yeah.
So at the end of the day,
you can't.
I want to say something. We got something from the audience.